Bijan, we're out in front of the Federal Building here in Los Angeles where demonstrations happen frequently. And I've covered many of them for different causes, and it seems to me that there's an awful lot of horn honking going on here.
Right.
You feel that you're getting a lot of support from people who aren't Iranians?
I don't think it's enough, but whatever we do, it's what we owe to people, my young fellow back in Iran.
We need everyone's support. On 9/11, everybody was American, and today I think everyone should be Iranian.
Would you be willing to be interviewed? Okay, okay. How about you? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, a lot of other folks who we encountered here today are from Iran also, and they seem very hesitant about speaking on camera. Do you have any feeling why that might be, and why are you willing to speak on camera?
Unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. I shouldn't say this. A lot of them are. A lot of them have things in Iran. They have houses, they have businesses, they go back and forth. And
do you think they have something to fear?
Of course, of course.
Do you have family back there?
I have family back there. I have businesses in Iran, but I don't care. People are losing their lives, and this is the least we could do. In a free country, we should come and show support.
As an artist, we're here today supporting the voice of Iranian people, only freedom. We're not here to support any regime or anybody, any person. We're here to support freedom, and that's it. We think it's time for Iranian people to achieve what they're really looking for all these years, and it's freedom.
Freedom for Iran! Freedom for Iran!
Well, freedom, that's a pretty broad agenda. This controversy, we all know, got started because it was claimed that the election was stolen. And now we're talking about freedom. So how much does it matter whether or not the original claim was valid? Are we worried about that anymore or not?
I think it becomes a question of the first time some official in the government is now not listening to the religious leaders. So the people, that's what I think they're connecting with. So they don't want to be oppressed anymore. And he says, go in the streets. It doesn't matter what the religious leaders say. So that's why I think you see that connection. That's how the election situation kind of took place.
Right. Now, a lot of people are saying what you just said, and I'm struggling to understand it because I'm not hearing the demonstrators make that explicit demand. What exactly are they asking for?
Well, when they say, for example...
Because if they're asking for a recount, that's not the same thing.
They're asking for a
that
lot
won't
of
get them
things.
freedom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's so clear. It is so clear that anybody just takes like a 10 years old to just watch TV and follow the history of the regime.
It's clear because by what the people are saying, when they're saying in Farsi, I'm quoting them here, death to the dictatorships and death to the leader, they're showing they don't want to have a dictatorship anymore. They don't want this government. They don't want the religious leader to lead them anymore.
It seems like that there's a lack of explanation as to why the protesters believe that the election was stolen.
There's been millions of people on the streets in Tehran and every other city in Iran. So common sense says that these people are, they believe the elections that they're making.
Right. But that's a different issue than the election. Other than let me ask the question. Other than that there are a lot of people in the streets, are you aware of any other evidence that the election was fixed?
Iranian people inside of Iran have had it for the past 30 years. They can't even say what they like. To me personally, it's just an excuse. It is very possible that the elections were rigged, but again, to me, it's an excuse.
But I'm aware of evidence that Ahmadinejad was ahead in the polls, and he won by the same margin that the polls indicated.
But when you see people that died or they got shot, so this news is telling me and you what you have to believe, what you shouldn't believe.
You think that indicates that the election was fixed?
You are asking me to commitment on what you're trying to tell me. I'm not saying that one, but what I'm saying is, right at the moment, I think people in Iran, they have to do what they have to do in Iran. We don't need any help from any other government, as I believe, not US, not England. We have to let them do what they want to do, and we support them.
So 30 years ago, the message was death to America, and now it seems there's a much different message.
Oh yeah, I think they're really, 30 years ago, most of these people on the streets, they weren't even born. So they don't associate, that wasn't their revolution. Today is what you see what the young people of Iran, which are 70% of the population of Iran, maybe even more, that's their voicing. So they said, okay, we were given this government, but we want something else. So it's a whole new way of looking at the West. And I think the young people in Iran, they're actually looking forward for the West for help and for support.
Now, I also want to ask you about what you said about how you aren't really being all that political or taking sides. You're just for freedom. Yes. But isn't that basically going against the Ayatollah and the dictatorship?
We're against them. Anybody is. Just like if someone was oppressing the American people here, no one wants to be oppressed, no one wants to be abused, no one wants to be taken advantage, lied to, and not have taken their freedom away. So we are definitely not against, we are against whatever power that exists that wants to hurt our people and wants to oppress them.
Do you think that CNN has done a good job of explaining why the election was fixed, if it was fixed?
I don't believe anybody, even me right here, I cannot explain exactly what's going on because we are not there. And if they don't let you guys as a reporter going there by freedom, you don't have any right news. So I cannot say 100% is what they do is what they supposed to do, or BBC or any other source.
Do you believe the election was a fraud?
I believe it was.
Yeah. You think the media has done a good job of explaining that?
It's very easy to find out because the people in the street, it shows the amount of people they're walking and demonstrating, it shows the vote work.
Other than there being a lot of people in the street, can you explain what the evidence is, why we should believe that the election was fixed?
Well, I'm not following that part of it as much because that election, it doesn't really matter. It's just people right now, they want to just change the whole structure of this regime, the whole government. I don't think this is all about, okay, not this person or that person, but this started from there. It's right now at this moment, it's not about the election.
So this is not a protest over the election, this is a revolution.
I think it's leading to that way. I'm hoping that freedom will come to Iran, and I think it's taking shape, it's taking another shape. I think that was like an excuse at the beginning, but deep down in our hearts, there's a bigger subject it's coming out right now.
با شما ترانه عاشقانه نیست